Hi, I'm Lori Flower, and welcome to Amana Yoga Online. Thanks for joining me for this inversion practice today. And today I'm going to show you some techniques and drills that help get us ready to find that strength that we need and that balance and coordination we need for inversions. So we're going to start out having 2 blocks by our sides. And we can place the blocks on either side of our hips. So we're just going to start off with some presses here. So we're going to lift, and then we're going to rock the weight forward to the feet, coming into a reverse table pose. Then exhaling, we're going to swing the hips back, forward fold, inhale, rock forward, exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock forward. And as you're rocking back, really start to hollow out the front body and pull up the sitting bones as much as possible. Press down into your hands. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale. One more time. Rock up. Exhale and return your seat. Take the blocks out to the sides. We're going to do some wrist stretches next. So a lot of inversions are very wrist intensive, particularly handstands. So we want to get a good stretch through the wrists and forearms. So we'll take the fingertips and point them back. We'll rock the weight back, stretching out wrists and forearms. Rock the weight forward, sink back through the hips. And we're going to flip the palms to face up. Maybe bring the knuckles together and start to curl the fingertips back, doing your best to go from maybe bent elbows to straight arms. And then we'll take the arms out to the sides. You can also come into toe curl stretch or just a regular kneeling and just start to open, close, very fast movements, strengthening the wrists and forearms here. So if you have a really solid downward dog, that's going to translate into a very good handstand eventually as well. So some things to keep in mind, just like downward dog, your wrist creases are in line. Your middle fingers point forward. You're grounded through all 10 fingers in the rim of the palms. And then go ahead and lift the hips high and press back. And we're going to start to walk our feet up toward the wrists. Now these are really neat exercises. They're called toe taps. We're going to try to tap the toes behind each of the wrists. Now if you need to modify this, you can bring your hands to the block and toe tap the block. So we're really activating the core here. These are also good for press-ups, should you want to see yourself in a press-up handstand someday. And forward fold. And you can also relieve any wrist tension by sliding the hands underneath the feet, using your toes to massage the palms. Go for your deep forward folds by bending the elbows and compressing the upper body to the lower half. Good. Inhale, rise up to mountain. Now we're ready to take it to the wall. So my measurement is this. I'm going to place my feet at the wall. And for our first drill toward handstand, we're going to make a mark where our hips are with the feet at the wall. So I'm spinning around and I place my hand shoulder width. This is a nice brick wall, so I'm not going to slide that much, but if you have a really slippery wall at home, take your socks off first and make sure you can get as much grip as possible. So coming up to downward dog, pushing the wall away. Start to stack your shoulders over your wrists, your ankles in line with your hips. So don't walk up too high. Try to hold that box shape, that L shape. You can always take one leg up at a time. Make sure you're not swiveling the hips or torquing them in any way. Keep it nice and square. And that might be very fatiguing to your wrists. So remember that as you come down, and you can come down sooner or later. Another good exercise for relief of the wrist is to squeeze the forearm and the wrist between the calf and the thigh. And you can do this at the same time as well. Another thing that happens when we're doing inversions, we're upside down. So there's a lot of blood flow to the brain, which is very beneficial for your brain. It gives you mental clarity and vitality and alertness. Just make sure you're not getting dizzy as well. So if you're not used to going upside down, do it incrementally in stages. Make sure you're upright enough as well. So next stage, working toward handstand, we're going to use the wall again, but this time our measurement is going to be a little different. We're going to place the feet at the wall, and where our knees are, that's where our hands are going to go. And this time our directionality is different. We're facing the wall. Plant our hands shoulder width apart, and we get ready with a downward dog. But our gaze moves up between our thumbs. Now you can, if you're relatively new to this practice, step forward. I recommend just one hop. This is my stronger leg, my right leg, so I'm going to bend it and push off of it. My other foot goes to the wall, and then I slide it down so the ankle lines up with the knee joint. Then I tuck my tailbone, gaze between my thumbs. I squeeze my thighs together and start to find the balance. So the shape that you're looking for when you're upside down is this. You can even find it upright. So from a side view, you're not in a banana shape, arching back. You're tucking your tailbone. You're drawing your ribs down and in. Arms are hopefully up alongside ears. If you have a lot of shoulder tightness, you might need to do some shoulder stretching first. So let me show you. If you try this, but you're more like this, then some exercises for you are hands at the wall, step back, have your hands about the same height as your hips. Step back and open up the chest, sinking the chest through, relaxing the head and neck. So doing plenty of those as warm-ups if you have tight shoulders. So next, we're going to focus on some different entries to handstands. So we've tried first the one-legged hop. Next, if you're a more intermediate level student, you might choose to go for double hop up. And so what that's going to look like is, we'll still use the wall. That measurement we took where our knees were, that's where we're planting our hands. We go into downward dog. We walk the feet a little closer together. We bring the gaze up between the thumbs, and we bend the knees, and we start to get springy and light, and we hop up. And then there's the wall. Find your shape. Start to squeeze the inner legs together. The fingertips are doing a lot of work. So remember, you're not just dumping weight into your wrist. You're having a conversation with the floor. I'll try to show you from this view. So when I'm upside down, I don't know if you can see from there, but there's a lot happening. I'm really not just dumping the weight here, but letting it spread out to the fingertips, using the fingers to balance as well. Remember to take some wrist circles or those squeezes. Give yourself some wrist love in between your times going up and coming back down. So let's say we're ready to move away from the wall and we want to try out our handstand without support. So the worst thing that could happen is you arch back. So if you find yourself falling back and you don't have a very strong back bend to land in a wheel pose, then you can cartwheel out to the side. So I'll just show the what ifs first to help us overcome any fear. So let's say we go up into handstand. I'm gonna get far enough away from the wall so I don't kick it. And actually I'll show you from this view. I think side view will work better. So let's say I go up. This is gonna be a terrible handstand. I go up, but I'm like, whoa! And I can cartwheel out to the side. For those of you who have a strong back bend, I don't recommend this as much, but I will demonstrate it in case you're falling back and you want to fully commit to the back bend. Whoa, falling over. Let's see if I can fall over. Boom. Look through and land. Lower gently. For both of those, I committed to straight, strong arms, and that's the important ingredient here. Because if your arms start to buckle, your elbows bend, your head could come down. So always commit, even if you're falling, to keep straight, strong arms. Okay? So now let's look at when things go well. So when things go well, we've probably practiced a lot. It's not just luck. And hands are shoulder width, the gaze is between the thumbs. I'll start out with that one leg hop. And I'm squeezing the glutes, squeezing the inner thighs. Gaze is between the thumbs. You can explore some leg straddles. Remember that cartwheel out if you're losing balance. So take care of the wrists. Next, I'm going to show the double leg hop. It's interesting doing inversions with all this equipment. All right. Double leg hop. Feet are together. Gaze between the thumbs. And you're getting to see some different angles here. Try to commit to bringing the hips over the shoulders. Oops, lost the equipment. I think I can leave this on the ground as I hop. Again, hips over shoulders. Straighten legs.